Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So today, me Muhammad Hakim bin Muhammad, my partner, Fatin Navigator will finish the SS3. So as you can see here, we have already execute the git commit, and now I will move to models and edit the todo.dat.
Okay, so for this part, Daniel will be the driver and I will be the navigator. So here we will have our main task, which is to set the getters and setters, and to create the copy constructor, the from JSON constructor, and to create the to JSON method. So as you can see, Daniel have done the first getters and setter method, the get and set method for title, and he will continue to do the same for the other four variable, which is description, done, ID, and user. So as you can see, Daniel have done all the getters and setters method for title, description, done, ID, user. So this is the basic method for a model class. So I think Daniel will continue with the copy constructor. This copy constructor is to copy the data, right? Meaning that during we edit the data, we edit the to-do list, we don't want to edit the original one,
Yes.
because if we cancel, we it will not change the original data, right?
Yes.
Okay, so Daniel have done the copy constructor for this to-do class, so he will continue to create a method, constructor from JSON, a method from JSON.
So I finished to the todo.dat.
Okay, so you have done all the to-do that. So we have fulfilled all the 4 tasks.
Yes.
Okay, so we will move to the next model class, which is user.dat.
Todo.dat.
Okay, now we will work on the user.dat, the user model class. So here we will have 2 tasks, which is to define the following method, the from JSON constructor and the to JSON method. Okay, here we don't have to define the get and set method because the code already provided with it. Done the method from JSON. I think it is almost the same with what we have done just now in todo.dat. So now we will continue to another task, which is to create a to JSON method. I think this one will also be the same, right, Daniel?
Yes.
In what we have done in todo.dat. So no need to further explain. Then I think you have an error in line 60. I think it should be comma.
Oh, okay, right. Yep. Let me finish the password first. Alright, thank you. So I finished doing the use.dat and to.dat under the models classes. So we have done the git, including the git branch, git delete all that and merge. Now I will pass. I will be the new navigator and Fatim will be the driver.
Okay. So I will start with to do service.dat.
So in to do service, there's 4 lists of function that will be at here. First is get to do list by user. Second will be add to do. The third will be update to do, and the last one will be the remove to do.
We want to retrieve the to-do list according to the user ID. Okay, for example, in this exercise we have 2 users, right, Jessica and Alex. So we will get the to-do list according to their user ID.
Okay.
As you can see, we will use the user ID when we pass the information.
Okay. So
Can you tell me if you get any error?
no, just any other. So as you can see here, Fatin have done finishing the to do service.dat. We'll move to.
Okay, so we move to the next service, which is user service.dat.
Okay. After completing the to do service, now we'll move on to user service.dat. Here, we will define the full method to handle REST call about the user data. So as you can see here, get user by login and password. The function is to get the user data, the ID and the password for the login purposes.
I have done the user service.dat. I have declared the method we need in this service class. So we will proceed to the next task, which is to configure the login and logout.
Okay.
Okay, so we will proceed to the next task, which is we will perform the login and logout function. We will do coding for it. In this function, we have cancel login operations, successful login, fail login, logout, and navigation between the main screen and the login screen. So here we will start with the first file, which is bar.dat in main. So in this bar.dat, I think we should build an application bar. It will display unknown user logo, and the login button if the user has not logged in yet. Otherwise, the app bar shows the user photo and name as well as the logout button. Okay. And now, Jana has done the onLogin price function, the same as the previous one. In this function, we will use the user service, which is the get user by login and password function. It will pass the username and password given by the user. So as I can see here, if the return result, if the return result is null, it will show error message. Otherwise, it will return to the main screen with the user to the data of the user.
Okay.
Okay, now so I think and you will need to edit on the column type. Now then I have done the coding in the both boot.dat and login screen. I think he has covered all the operation in the login and logout, which is cancel login operation, successful login, fail login, logout, and navigation between the main screen and the login screen. Okay, now we will proceed to the next task, which is to list all to-dos for the current user. And for that, I will be the driver and then I will be the navigator.
So I finished doing the bar.dat and the in-screen.dat for login logout function. So now I will pass Fatin to do about the to-do list.
Okay, so I will start with main screen.dat. So I will declare the list of to-do and the feature data for the to-do list.
For the title, we will show the title of the task, and the subtitle is the description, right, for the respective task. Okay. So Fatin, at line 47, as you can see, what's the function of the decoration that you written?
Oh, at that line, it is about if the task is done and if the condition is true, then the declaration will be the line true. And if it is not done, there will be no line on the to-do list. That's all.
Okay.
Okay. I have done my part in this. Uh, I have retrieved I have retrieved the data from the reservoir and reflect on the UI. So I think we will proceed to the next task, which is add a new to do.
Okay.
So for add a new to do, we will start with plot.dat, will which we will initialize the function to do the navigator function to navigate to the other screen.
Okay.
So here I will create a method called plus press.
So this is for when they press on the plus button, they wanted to add for the new task, right?
Yes.
For the title and the
Yes.
description of the task. Okay.
In order to do that, we will go to the add new task page. If according to the code structure, it will go to edit screen.
Okay. So Fatin, this is the get set method for
Yeah.
the title and the description, right? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So Fatin I finished doing the add to do, the adding a new task to the list and the reflection of the UI. Now,
Yes.
okay, Fatin. So we finished doing the git for the edit. We have also finished for the um, to-do list, add to-do list, cancel button. So now Fatin, where we will edit next?
I will start with booty.dat.
Okay. What is the function that you plan to do next?
Actually, it is the same like admin function, admin to do, but it has a few difference, which is instead of asking the user for the title, it will display the title for the selected to do task to be edited, and it will display the data for the to do task,
Oh,
and it will also have a checkbox tab for done. which we don't have this add new to do screen. That's all the thing.
Okay dah, done. Okay, so I've done the git commit for edit, and Fatin have finished doing the edit of the task. Now I will take over.
Now I will
I will be the
take
driver,
over.
and you will be the navigator.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I will navigator. The operation to remove the selected to do will be done only by long press
Yes.
on the user. Yeah, I think Daniel have done the second last function, which is to really to do the selected to do, and it has reflect the changes on UI and also on the reservoir. And now we will move to the next to the last function, which is to refresh the main screen.
Okay.
For this function, I will still be the navigator, and Dennis will be the driver. So I think for this function, it is necessary. It is basically a simple task which we will only call the refresh method we have done in the main screen, right? In the first, the login operation.
Nice.
No, not the login. The retrieve to release from the server. Okay.
So we've already finished doing all the coding for SS3, and also regarding the gate. And now we will go on to the walkthrough of our application or our system.
Okay, so first of all, to access the feature, the user will need to log in first, because if the user doesn't log in, the main screen will show empty list. The add button and the refresh button also will not be displayed. Okay, so Daniel will explain about the login function.
So at first we will go to the login function. I will enter the username, ls, and password is 123. And
Daniel,
yeah,
I think you can try to play with the show password button, and what happen if the user enter the wrong credentials.
Okay, so before we log in into system, so the password is actually 123, but we will enter the incorrect password first to see what will happen. So as you can see here, when the user log in with the wrong username or password, it will show the error message, which is invalid username or password. So we will try to enter with the.
And what happens if the user press cancel?
If the user press cancel, we'll go back to the main screen. Okay, we'll try
so
back.
Nothing will happen, right?
Yeah, nothing will happen. So we'll try back with the correct password this time and see what will happen next. So after we have done entering the correct username or password, we will go straight to the user main screen regarding the list of the tasks. Okay, Fatin?
Okay, so you can see, as what I told before, if the user has not logged in into the system, there will no the system will not display the to-do list. And as you can see now, there is a to-do list display in the main screen, and also the add and refresh button. So this feature only can be used by the user if the user has logged into the system. Okay, now I will be explaining about the add new to-do function. Okay, Daniel, can you press the plus button for me?
Okay.
Okay, inside here, users are required to enter the title for the to-do and what it does. So example, we enter the title exercise 3. Okay, for this we will say about to code using HTTP and JSON. Okay, so okay, what happens if we press cancel? So if we press cancel, it will go back to the main screen and nothing will happen. No update will be done to the main screen. It will not send the data to the database. Okay, so you can add new one. And then you can press OK. Okay, as you can see, the list has been updated with it has a new to do, which I asked Daniel to do it just now. And if we reflect it on the db.json, then can you open the db.json? Okay, so as you can see, for user one, it has been sent to the database to update the list. So the changes reflect both on the UI and the server. Okay, now I will explain about the edit to-do list. Okay, now you can press any of the to-do list area. Okay, so for example, in this to-do list, I have done the exercise 3 and I want to update it to 10. Okay, so we press OK. So as you can see, there is a line through on the exercise 3, and as you can see in the database, it has reflect changes that is true. So the changes will be reflected on both UI and server. Okay, that's all for add new to do and edit to do list. Okay, so Daniel will explain regarding the delete to do list and the refresh button.
Okay, so for the removing the task, the user only has to long press the task. Okay, for example, like SS3, I will long press, and then as you can see here, the list of the tasks it have been removed, and at evaluation also, the tasks have been removed from the database. So now I will show you the refresh function, which for example, we send a request from the server itself. For example, the title will be SSS3. SSS3. This is finish task. Okay, so and then we will send the request at here, and then you can see it is successful. So we'll close this, and then at the coding we will press the refresh button. As you can see
Yes.
here.
Before after you update from the test request to rest, it does not in the main screen, right?
Yeah, I
So
didn't
I
miss.
think the main objective, the main function for the refresh button is to reflect the changes from the server itself. And because when we make change to the server, let's say if there's another one people from the other side make change to the list
From the server
or
side.
add a new to the list, so the user does not get changes until he
Refresh.
or she press the refresh button, right?
Okay, yes. And also when
Okay.
the user edit send request from the server itself, it will also affecting at the database DB direction.
Reflect.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So the last function after all of this, the last function is the logout function. So when the user press again the login, but this time it has been changed to logout, the color is changed to red. So when the user press it, so it will go to the logout to the main screen back. So I think that's all from me.
Wait,
Okay, now.
if the press the login button back, will the previous data of the user be displayed?
Uh,
If in case,
yes.
I mean, no. If you press the login button,
Okay.
let's say, okay, so nothing will display.
No.
It will be no. It does not display the previous data of the user.
Yeah, there's no change in here.
Correct.
Okay, I think that's all from me. More than I can build more bola. So Fatin, do you have anything to say?
Now, that's all for me too. Okay, thank
Okay.
you, Anna, for cooperating with me in this exercise 3.